Ladies and gentlemen, we may just have a match on our hands. We at the start it said there's no contest between the two sides. India, the way that they've played, we told you they've only lost 3 matches. There's no contest in terms of where the two teams are. When you look at their ICC rankings, when you look at their head-to-head as well. But guess what? Bangladesh have surprised us all over here. The three of us had gone in with predictions of about 100. North of 186, that was the most conservative that we'd gone with, but India have been restricted to 168 by Bangladesh, having conceded 72 of those runs in the first 6 overs. What a comeback there from Bangladesh. And that's what makes me say that we may just have a match on our hands.
Absolutely. And I think, one of the things you really have to see about how it is that run scoring became more and more difficult as the match wore on, as the innings wore on. They had 72 runs in the first 6 overs. At that point, they were going at an economy of 12. After that, you've ended at 168, which means the next 14 overs have yielded 96 runs. That means you're going at an economy of about 7.
Less than
7. That in itself tells you how difficult it became. Good comeback from Bangladesh, no doubt. Let's take nothing away from how it is that, Bangladesh performed. I think I will have to, pat myself on the back, but also be regretful for saying that someone like a Rishad Hossain needs to be selected. The first 3 wickets that fell, he was involved in all of them.
Yep.
He got the first 2 wickets and affected the run out that got rid of Abhishek Sharma.
That for me was the turning point of the innings. I mean, if you look at it, Bangladesh's fielding today was absolutely top notch. And this score of 168, remember, the Sri Lanka-Bangladesh encounter that took place in Dubai, same score.
Yeah.
Almost the same score, 1 run less. Now, that run out by Rishad Hossain, I mean, look at it. Suryakumar Yadav had hit it fine to about short third manish. The backward point, short third man, okay? Rishad flung himself to his left and boy, oh boy, it was almost behind him. But then he took it, immediately turned, flung a rocket through to Mustafiz, and Abhishek Sharma, had he hung on for another 2-3 more overs, it would have been a total north of 190.
Yeah.
If that was the case. But then after that run out of Abhishek Sharma, you saw the slow squeeze by the Bangladeshi bowlers. 22 balls in the death overs. They had not scored a boundary. It was only Hardik's cameo towards the end which ensured you got past 160. Otherwise, you were in danger at one point. Are we even going to cross 150?
I remember watching the power play and thinking, you know what, I think I've been conservative with my score estimate. Tells you how quickly the game can change, that now we're well short of the score estimates we've given. You were at 180 something.
185.
And that was the closest, but the closest has also fallen short by 20 runs.
Yeah.
So, tells you everything you need to know.
Bangladesh's fielding. Today, they were fielding like a team possessed, and look at it. 29 of 19, Shubman Gill fell. I mean, you look
More than that, I would say, Siddharth, well, the fielding was definitely one of the most conspicuous things to be there in the first innings. However, I would say, remember there were thoughts being mentioned in the comments. There's this whole thing that perhaps Bangladesh are the one taking things lightly. They've changed the entire bowling attack. But look at this, a team that had conceded 72 runs. Look at the mental fortitude of that side. We all thought that, they pretty much given things up, and they were already looking at the match against Bangladesh. Bangladesh were looking at the match against Pakistan tomorrow. However, from 72 to drag things back to an extent where you have genuinely given yourselves a chance of going for a win, that speaks a lot about this Bangladesh side that really mean business out there.
I mean, see, look at what was their build-up. They had played a series versus Pakistan. They had also played a series against the Netherlands. They won that Netherlands series pretty well. Here, when you look at it, after losing that game to Sri Lanka, we felt, okay, it's the same old story for Bangladesh. But then somewhere down the line, the mocking that Afghanistan gave them. I mean, Rashid Khan, there was a lot of comments I read from the Bangladeshis on Facebook wherein they said the smirk that Rashid Khan had, how can they even consider themselves to be contenders? That was one thing which really boosted them. And that 9-run win that they had against Afghanistan, since then, they have not looked back. They have been performing really, really well. They beat Sri Lanka. How if they do this, if they manage to chase on 169, that third scenario where three teams can be on 4 points.
4 points, yeah, and then you decide on net run
rate.
who the finalists are going to be.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it can be a Pakistan-Bangladesh final, it can be an India-Bangladesh final, it can be an India-Pakistan final. Any of these three permutations and combinations can take place. So we are joined by Nikhil Pawan. Yeah, Nikhil, can you hear us?
Yeah, of course I can.
Then we were just talking about how Bangladesh have managed to pull things back in this contest. But give us something that you picked up about the wicket, Nikhil, because we saw 72 runs being scored in the first 6 overs. After which clearly there were clearly things had slowed down. What does that tell you about the wicket? What is it that you've managed to pick up as well? Because everyone who came into bat after that dismissal of Abhishek Sharma really struggled to get off the blocks, be it a Hardik, Tilak, or even Aksar for that matter.
I mean, I don't know. You see, again, I think they got 100 in almost 10 overs. I think 10.1 overs is when they reached the 100, the Indian team. And then they've gotten whatever, 67, 68 runs in the second half of the game. Now, you've got to see the trend and two things really to look at. One, if you remember versus Pakistan as well, when Pakistan were playing India, there came a phase in the middle where Pakistan really slowed down and Indian bowlers, got back. So there does come a stage, especially after the first 8-10 overs, that the team that is batting first finds it difficult. I think that's what happened with the Indian team as well, quite similar to what Pakistan went through. But then India chased it down rather comfortably. Whether Bangladesh will be able to do that or not, and I think for that you really need to look at that game that Bangladesh played versus Sri Lanka. I think it was an identical total, 168-69 if my memory serves me right. So it is an identical total that was set to them by the Sri Lankan team, and then Bangladesh chased that down. So they would then be confident of doing that versus India. But again, different bowling, different way of really taking things forward. It's a very different opposition, and opposition against, let's not forget that Bangladesh tends to choke. I hate to use that word, but if you've gone back in the past in crucial games, they have been found guilty of that. That versus India from a winning position, they end up losing a game. So we'll have to see which Bangladesh really turns up. They've made a few changes to the team today. Let's not forget that there's no Liton Das, and I think that is going to be a major thing as far as the whole batting lineup is concerned. But I think for India as well, great that they batted first. I guess they needed to figure out a way as well. You batted first versus Oman, but you wanted to bat first here in Dubai and get used to those conditions, because what if in a final you had to do that? So I think India's kind of got a check on how the pitch really behaves in the first innings and then what happens in the second innings. So so the one area that you see is that you have to probably maximize a little bit more in the first 10 overs, because the second half becomes a bit sluggish. But let's see. I think to me, at the moment, I'd say it's a close game. It started with India being overwhelming favourites. I'll still put India slightly favourite, but just by a small margin, considering how well Bangladesh have fought back.
I think, what I've noticed from the matches here in Dubai, when you begin the power play, the ball is hard, it just comes on to the bat. You score heavily in the power play. Look at how India scored, and even Pakistan did well in the power play from the 21st game onwards. But as the ball gets softer, as the game progresses, I think stroke making becomes far more difficult. You see how Bangladesh employed the cutters far more often. There were a lot of slow deliveries. Tanzim Saqib tried things for 3 overs. He was successful. He overdid it, and that's how 13 runs came in that over as well from him. But Mustafi's ideal kind of condition, economy rate of just over 8. So I think when you look at it, when the conditions become softer, as the game progresses, run scoring becomes far more harder. That's what I'm getting the feel in Dubai at this stage.
But you also have to remember, you're saying all of this without the most obvious caveat, is that the dew tends to ease conditions out significantly, not only in terms of the pitch, but also more importantly in terms of the outfield.
And Shaheen also said that in the PC that you don't get swing in the second innings. So in Dubai, so that is one major problem that we have got at this stage. But Nikhil, do you think once again too much shuffling and going away from that right left combination? Today when Shubman fell, you needed a right-hander, but then they got in a Dube, a promotion. Then Sanju demoted even further. Do you think this experimentation kind of is deflating certain players' confidence and is kind of throwing India's composition awry, batting composition?
I mean, in hindsight, Siddharth, you can say that it's always 2020 vision. But I think, see, this is something that's not happened in one match. Let's not look at it in isolation. This is something that India has been doing consistently. In fact, they're not just doing it, they made their intention very clear for the last year and a half. If you remember, I keep going back to it, the interview also I did with Suryakumar Yadav, where he mentioned that this is exactly how the team wants to play. This is what they've identified is the way to go about in T20 cricket, and they'll keep doing it. Now, you can't argue with the fact, as I gave you that stat before the start of the game, 32-3, right? That's India's win-loss ratio ever since, they've started playing this brand of T20 cricket. So you really can't argue with that fact. So that's the reason why they've accommodated a top order batter in Sanju Samson to be batting there, because they say no, each batter has to find a way to be batting and getting runs. So they believe in the talent of a batter, not his batting position. And they said that we'll keep changing on and off. There's going to be no fixed slot. I think Shivam Dube, they got there because thinking, you got on to a great start, so let's capitalize even more. No point consolidating. And at that point, didn't look like a bad strategy to me. But now in hindsight, it does look like that. You did that and then kept pushing Sanju down. Number 5 was anyway being considered very low for him. And today, I think he was scheduled to come out at number 7. Didn't get a chance because Hardik and Akshar were there. But again, Hardik batting the way he did, he's a stroke maker. He can really bat at a high strike rate. Akshar not getting on with the game as he always can, I think tells you that stroke making wasn't really easy. As I mentioned, it happened in the Pakistan game as well. It gets tougher to bat on a little later. Whether that happens in the second innings or not will depend on dew. What I can report, previously there wasn't too much dew. Teams have not been complaining about the dew, so that's not been an issue so far. At the moment, I'm not at the ground, so I can't tell you. But if I was to see around me, there is a bit of green patch, close to where I'm standing as well. And I don't see any sort of dew really setting in, though we'll really find out whether there'll be dew once the game starts. Because if there is a lot of dew, then that slow phase that you have after the 10th over, that is not something that Bangladesh will have to deal with. But if there is no dew, then even they will have that phase where they'll have to deal with it. So, as I said, they've chased a similar total down in this very competition, albeit against a different opposition. So, let's see how it pans out.
As compared to the previous games, Nikhil, the weather, is it cooler today?
Slightly, Siddharth, slightly, but it's only marginal. So, I believe about 10 days ago, the weather at night also used to be very hot. That is what I was told. But since the time I've been here for 4 odd days, it's been decent in the evening. Evening gets decent. Yesterday was slightly warmer. Today, as I see it, it's slightly more cooler, because if you remember, when I was doing my pre-match show today, there was a lot of breeze blowing since the early evening, and that breeze is still there. And so it feels a little bit cooler compared to yesterday, not as hot as it had been, what I heard about 10 days ago. So weather is changing gradually, but to say that it's pleasant, no. I'd just say slightly better than what it was yesterday and what it was 10 days ago.
Okay, so yeah, it's like a very 50-50 contest at this point. Although India with their varied bowling resources, I mean, look at it: Akshar, Kuldeep, Varun, Shivam Dube, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah.
Need be Abhishek.
So,
Need be Tilak.
I mean, I don't think they'll go that far to Tilak.
Need be Sky.
It's not Oman. I mean, yeah, he did do that in the Sri Lanka game. But I don't think they'll be that bad. But then see, for Bangladesh at this point in time, it's a catch-22. See, they know this is their target. They can chase it down like what happened against Sri Lanka.
What I do feel is what Sri Lanka would have seen from the first innings, and rather what they would have learned from the first innings, is that you've got to go and maximize as far as the power play is concerned. And in trying to do so, that therein lies the opportunity then for India to get a few wickets as well. And I think the spinners will be up and about.
You mean Bangladesh?
Yeah.
I got a bit confused.
Yeah.
But Bangladesh would have.
That's been happening.
Yeah, that's been happening. That's right. Yeah.
Acha.
And
No, I actually got confused. I was like, maybe they can learn something from the Sri Lanka game. I thought he's going to talk about, and then I realized no, he's talking about this game.
Yeah, but I think, see, one advantage they have is they don't need to go hard on the power play either. They don't need to go as hard as India did. They're not setting a target. They know that, I mean, the required run rate, if you're talking 170, is 8.5. Even if you get like 50-60 runs in the power play, after that you need 120 runs. You can actually consolidate in the middle overs, bat deep, and actually take it home. Of course, we've seen Bangladesh bungle those kind of chases as well. But I mean, this team does look a little bit different so far in terms of, I mean, for one, their fielding is way better. Their plans seem far better. So, I mean, they don't really need to be explosive. They can take the game home very easily. And for them, mind you, they don't need to worry about net run rate if they win this match. They'll be on 4 points. And their net run rate will be fairly good.
It will be fairly good, but then about 1-2% they will have an eye on net run rate. Because see,
Against India, they will target the Pakistan.
last over it will go to. I mean,
100%.
I'm not saying it will go bang bang. It will go bang bang. They lose wickets also. So see, it's actually very difficult. I know that I've got a game tomorrow.
Softball in mind as well, because that's been happening in Dubai. As Siddharth was also rightly pointing out, softer the ball gets, becomes harder to put it across the boundary rope.
Yeah, the innings is also just a chase will start. But Nikhil,
No, I want to know no conspiracy theories. If India lose this, that India lost it on purpose to ensure that Pakistan gets knocked out because India will beat Sri Lanka, and so that Bangladesh goes through. I don't know. You guys tell me.
no. See,
Not yet.
No.
It may happen if India loses.
See, there is a scenario where 3 teams will be on 4 points and it'll boil down to net run rate. It would have become so much more easier if India win, they go through to the final, Sri Lanka eliminated. And Pakistan,
No,
Bangladesh,
that I know. That I know. But I'm saying, what if India had to lose to Bangladesh? Don't be surprised, those conspiracy theories.
The tinfoil hats will be out in full force then. Yeah.
That's still there, yeah. But then Pakistan are playing only tomorrow, so I really don't know. Either they don't know their cricket, or I don't know what.
See, there's anyway so much of significance to tomorrow's match, and that doesn't change.
It doesn't change. In fact, it only increases. Not from a fast shootout. You can.
No, there's a difference, no? Then see, if Bangladesh are to lose today, then it's a must-win versus Pakistan.
Yep.
But if Bangladesh are to win today, they can lose against Pakistan, still qualify for the final, and India could. So that's where conspiracy theories will start. That India on purpose may have looked to so as to eliminate, Pakistan. That even if they win, they are still out. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll happen. You believe me, it'll happen.
See, if you don't
If
want
India are to
dead
lose.
rubbers, okay? If you don't want dead rubbers, Bangladesh win today, Pakistan win tomorrow, then India, Sri Lanka. If Sri Lanka does the unthinkable, you have a Pakistan-Bangladesh final. Then no game is a dead rubber then. If Bangladesh win today, even 26th has significance.
Correct.
So that is how, if you want the Asia Cup to go that way, all the best. So, Nikhil, what do you think? Can they defend this or India?
I want to ask you guys prediction. What time will the match finish? 11:30, 11:45, 12. What time will it?
I think 12 at this rate.
Is it coming from the little chat that we had, Nikhil, on the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, because I want to tell you that it is no way that it will finish before 12.
I would agree. It's 10 o'clock Indian time now. If it ends before 12 o'clock, yeah, not a chance. Over rates have been terrible in this tournament, and obviously they're going non-punished in any way, shape or form. So I fully well expect that this match is going to go down till around midnight.
With all the reviews, with all the breaks, with everything, and there will be so much of drama. It's not ending before 12 o'clock.
Listen, I'm sorry. How is it that they are taking more time to complete their overs than IPL teams who also have 2 strategic timeouts to deal with? Rubbish. This is very, actually just lacks attitude, nothing else.
4 hours.
What's happened? Is there a wicket first ball?
Oh, lovely. Hardik Pandya, what a man.
Wow.
Oh, you've given us a nice spoiler.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm asking.
No,
you.
it's a
boundary.
It's a boundary.
It's a
The
four.
Bangladesh
It's a
fans are
boundary.
very. Actually, it's not even a 4, it's
Yeah.
2.
It's just a couple.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, make
Oh.
that 3.
Oh.
But Bangladesh fans are loud and proud, so yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. That
Who's that?
Who's gotten an injury?
number
Kuldeep.
22, Kuldeep.
Kuldeep. He slipped.
You really need him tonight.
Yeah. He slipped
And
and
you need him
Oh, there might be a bit of dew. That's why he slipped there. It's a heavy outfield also. That's why you see some of the boundaries just didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, got
Twice,
stuck. Got
Twice,
stuck.
actually. You know, I saw his
Yeah.
feet get stuck earlier as well.
Yep. So that's Tanzid Hassan Tamim on strike now. The other Tanzid Hassan Saki.
No, this Tanzid and Tanzim.
Tanzim.
So don't get confused.
Tanzim.
Yeah. There's this
Yeah,
Tanzid Hassan
Tanzid
Saki.
with a D is a batter.
Yeah.
Tanzim with an M is the bowler.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tanzim Hassan Saqib and Tanzid Hassan Tamim.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the way. Yep. So, what do you think? Will India defend this?
I hope. I don't really know. I think it's 50-50 right now.
Very 50-50.
Very 50-50.
Nikhil?
I'm saying India should win this. I think they'll win it. Close game, they'll win it.
If it's
I have more faith in Bangladesh,
Bottom.
committing harakiri than India really defending it.
Fair.
Yep. So, even I also think so. I think it'll be a close game, and I think it's 51-49 at this point for India. I'm going India's favor in that sense. So, okay. There we have the OG Lord.
Celebrities.
Yeah, he is the OG Lord.
I
Yeah,
know,
come
I
on.
know.
Yeah. So, okay. So, we'll join you for the post-match.
Yes, whenever that is.
12 o'clock.
Whenever that is.
Yeah, indeed. So, we'll join you guys at 12 o'clock and let's see whether India make it to the final or the Super 4 stays wide open.
Or we have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you.
Bye-bye.